Alright, sorry for no videos lately. I've had a problem with storage on my computer, and I think I have that kind of worked out for right now. Um, of all the stuff that I do on my computer, the thing that eats up the most storage space is videos, making videos. And I was doing pretty okay. I had like an external D drive and everything, and then something started to happen with that, where it was corrupting everything. Like every video I would complete would end up corrupted, and I'd have to try and like recover it. And finally, I just figured out, you know what I'll do is I'm going to remove the D drive entirely, and all my corruption problems went away. But now I have less storage. So um, what ended up happening was um, I changed it all up, and then there's been I've been in a class too, in this Ryan Benjamin class, and what he's presenting is in the class is it's penciling techniques. It's very challenging, and not every student is cool with it. Like it's a different way of thinking about how you draw your figures, and I think it actually is really useful and it really works. It's 100% or 180 degrees different than how I normally draw, but I got some good results out of it just initially, like early on. And other people I've seen in the class that have sort of embraced it have got some good results, you know. So I want to continue with it. Um, Although I don't know if it'll. It's one of those things, you know, old habits die hard. I'm 870 pages into my 1,000 page quest, and it's hard for me to change, but I see the benefit and I'm practicing on it, and that means that I have less comic pages to work on. I have um, several other pages to show. I have this Superman holding up an elephant page that I did, and I did this. The Phantom versus the creature from the Black Lagoon image, and I did also another one which is the Phantom of the Opera, which is wait, no, not this one. The Phantom. This one isn't as good. Phantom of the Opera versus my Nosferatu character with these mice in the background or rats, and that's just applying this idea that I'm learning in the class. And I'm not applying it perfectly. I'm you know, it's one of those things, you know, you have a style, you adapt, you take what you can understand from the teacher that's presenting it to you, and you incorporate it into your understanding of it and your workflow and your habits and all these other things. So what can I tell you? I'm doing my best, but it is slowing me down a bit, or maybe even a lot. But I'm cool. You know, I don't mind slowing down a little bit. I probably needed to slow down, um, if only just to solidify my understanding and stuff. It's kind of an interesting thing that happens when you go real fast. That doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're going to be learning the whole time. There could be a period of that where you've developed some habits, and then maybe you did learn some, but maybe you need to take some time for that to kind of sink in, or try even some other ways of thinking about things to get a deeper understanding of what you're trying to learn. Now I'm back on. We're back on Lady of Sorrow Springs, and if you recall where we were, I don't even know if I showed the final page, but I got the color done on the last page. And I'll show you the color page right here. Late that night, Eli is sneaking out the window. There he is getting away. Malvolio notices him from the window, and he decides to follow him, and he brings his gun because Eli's got his gun. And we just ended it with this kind of wordless panel where he's sneaking along, just trailing him. What we're going to find out is in this page, and this is rough, so this we're not going to go hard on the drawing on this. We're just really going to work out some ideas. I can't remember if it's 3 or 4 panels planned out. Let me see what my panels are. I think it might be almost 5 panels. Okay. one panel we have, okay, Eli gets somewhere, and then suddenly a giant were-rat attacks him, ambushes him. And... oops. I want to make sure it fits on the panel really nicely and it's nice and big. And there's other were-rats nearby. So here's our Eli, and he's like, whoa, you know, and we see the rats jumping on him. And his hat is falling off. And then we're going to even see maybe there's a rat up here in the foreground, or maybe there's a rat over here in the foreground. Really big. And the rats are like, did you do it? And what we find out is that Eli is related to the were-rats, but he doesn't have the curse. So they close in on him, and they want to know if he's killed off Sister Maria. So maybe we do this as 2 panels. Maybe we'll have him on the ground like this. His hat's already off of his head. He's lying on the ground and the rat is like right on top of him. Giant rat. And Eli is saying, I can't do it. She's been too kind to me. And the were-rat says, you fool. You're related to us. You already have the family curse. Whether you do it or not, you're doomed. This way... you know, and maybe we even do this page in silhouette, this part in silhouette. That's a question mark. Panel 5 is... maybe we're going to zoom in. This is kind of... this is almost like the... you ever seen the shot of Alien where the aliens is like right up in the face of Sigourney Weaver? And it's just so menacing and awful, and it's got its little crazy tongue thing out. That's not what's going to happen here. We're going to have the rat right here, and he'll be looking away, and he's going to say, you know, they've been really kind to me. Maybe there's another way. And the rat's going to be like, there's no other way. You know, whether you do this or not, you're completely doomed because you're part of the curse. And then suddenly, or maybe not so suddenly, they attack. Maybe that's... let's do this in 2 panels. I gotta... maybe there's like a claw attack, like slash, you know, kind of a thing. No, I don't like that. If we do a close-up on the slash, it's too close to what we got the size of that previous panel to be. So we could show the slash as being maybe just some claws. I don't know. I'll have to think about how I'm going to do that. Might have to look at some other references to see how other comics would solve this problem. And then suddenly the several were-rats have jump in. Or maybe that's reversed. Actually, let's think about this as a reverse. That would break up some of the monotony, right? What if we take this and we erase this whole thing right here? If we say, okay, we have the 3 were-rats shown, and then he's up in the foreground. Or maybe he's not even in the panel. And they're like pretty menacing. I don't have a great rough going on here. It's going to take me a while to figure out what's the best way to stage these rats. One thing I also don't have is, like, I have a vague idea of how I want to draw the rats, like how I want to design them. They're going to be they're not exactly humanoid. It's not just a human body with a rat head. It's got to be almost like a giant rat, but, able to articulate human speech, and then its arms will be more rat-like, but, articulated in such a way. And they'll have these long tails, too. And then the last panel will show the rat biting him on the neck. And by the way, that is transferring the rat curse, the were-rat curse, to Eli. And he reaches for his gun, and what's the forgotten part of this? Well, Malvolio's there too. Remember, Malvolia's been trailing him the whole time. So on the next page, Malvolia jumps in, and then together they're able to fight them off. Eli confesses what the plan was after they fight them off, and Eli figures out that there's a lot more going on with the ghost of the Lady of Sorrow Springs. Now this panel and this panel looking exactly the same, so I've got to change the size. This is one of the things. You got to make sure your figures are of different sizes. And plus we want to show that he's reaching for his gun. And he's able, he's gotten up. He restarted to get up. And actually, that head's just a tiny bit big. It's not too big, really. Remember, he's got a vest on. And that gets us into the mystery of why this is the Weird West, right? So, anyways, I think we have at least a plan. All right, that's 15 minutes. I'm going to continue working up my rough, and I'm going to do it in stages. I'm going to kind of attempt to use some of that energy capturing ideal that I'm learning in the Ryan Benjamin class. I'm not going to rely on it because I already know the way I do it is pretty efficient. I want to incorporate it more, though. And we'll kind of build this up over time before we get some finished drawings out of it. So, like I said, this is just a rough. Were-rat jumping on Eli. The were-rat threatening Eli. He gets over here, and we finally find out that I don't know if I have his eyes looking away. Like he's unable to. Like the plan was to murder the nun who runs the mission so that they could take it over, and somehow they want to take control of the Lady of Sorrow Springs, but there's actually several groups that are trying to do that. Then we see that there's 3 were-rats, actually. He's just part of a group. We'll actually see the other 2 were-rats over here. And then finally we see Eli get bitten here, and that's when all bets are off, and the guns come out. All right, so that's going to be my whole comic page. I'll get working on that. All right, thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And there will be more comics every day. My name is Peter. I do indie comics as I develop my skills. I'm a student. And I don't know, it's for good or bad, my work speaks for itself. I've got almost 900 pages at this point. All right, talk to you later.